Hey, how about a good morning? My name's Dave Wilderman, and I appreciate you letting me into your classroom today. If you have any questions, you can see my email address or my phone number. Feel free to send me questions. I'll try and anticipate a couple if I can. And I teach in business at Wabash Valley College. I've been here a long time, over 25 years now. And it was not my first career. I owned and operated an appliance store in Mount Carmel and also managed one in Evansville, Indiana for a short while. So all of my experience comes from doing business at the retail level. When I started teaching, my wife opened an antique mall and is still in the antique business. So small retail has always been part of my past, and I love to study business of all types. We have a business club on campus, and with the exception of COVID, we've made lots and lots of trips to various businesses and talked to lots of people. And I don't know who gets the most out of it, but I know I've learned a lot over the years talking to various business people and creating those connections. And at your age in high school, this is a good time to begin to create those connections. So feel free to reach out at the email address or give me a call at the phone number there. And at Wabash Valley College, in the business areas, we basically have two programs. One program is the Marketing Business Management program, and I'll explain more about that. It's a technical 2-year program. And the other program we have is to allow you to prepare to study various types of business in a 4-year school or beyond. And whatever your choice, get some college. It is the best thing you can do. I love business, love teaching business. And probably one of the reasons for that is it is impossible to name organizations that operate that do not have a business department, do not have business people. All businesses have to have money coming in. Generally, we call that revenues, but we have to have money coming in and the lights on and paying people. We have to pay our expenses, so we have to have more money coming in than what's going out. A lot of times we see the revenue part, but a lot of folks don't think about the expense part. And this past year has been hard on businesses. Each and every one of you probably know a business that has closed simply because with the pandemic and as crazy as it was, there weren't enough people willing to get out and eat, even if the business decided to stay open the whole time. A lot of us did not want to subject ourselves, our families, and our loved ones to a chance of getting very sick, having the conditions that come up and pop up afterwards that don't seem to want to go away, and then there's always that chance of death. So with these sort of situations, we don't have enough revenue to cover our cost, and we can't operate. So profit, you will learn in business, is a very important word. Profit is good. I call it ethical profit. I do not feel I should steal from you. I feel if I promise you a good or service that I should provide it. And that's what we teach at Wabash Valley College. And business is very exciting. So let's go to my first path, and that's the technical path of what I do in the technical part of business. And what that is teach you actual skills to use. Now, in a 4-year university, if you're going on, you get more general education. And then in your junior and senior year, you get more skill education. So if you come to Wabash and want the associate degree in applied science and marketing business management, you're going to get skills. What skills are you going to receive? Well, one of the biggest skills that we need in business today is marketing. And you'll have a marketing class. You'll have a sales class. You might take a sales management class. You'll have a retail class. You'll have an advertising class. We'll talk social media. All these things are marketing. And think for a second, what is marketing? And if I were with you, I would point you, and you would have to give me an answer. So you got lucky today. I'm not here to point and get that answer, but what is marketing? Okay, now your answers more than likely are correct. But the real definition of marketing is understanding the people you're going to do business with, who needs your product, who wants your product, who's able to buy your product or service. And how do you reach them? How do you understand what they need, how they want it delivered, how consistent you have to be, how friendly you have to be? That is marketing. Marketing is understanding the customers. Now, some of you have jobs. And when I say customer, especially this past year, if you worked retail, that's been difficult. I apologize for the old fogies out there that cannot be respectful to the workers in the workplace. It's totally nonsense that you've been disrespected. And sometimes it comes from the top and the bottom. Now, you got to remember, bosses have an awful lot of pressure on them. So sometimes they do things probably they wish they hadn't have, or maybe they didn't take any business classes and they truly don't understand how to problem solve and understand what it takes to fix a problem, and then get you, the important people that's doing the work, to get it done and get it done in a way that satisfies the customer. That's why we study this. There are people that think anyone knows business, but those people fail a lot. In fact, today, if you're going to get any type of small business loan or small business assistant, before you can even get loans, you're required now to have business classes. And that's kind of interesting because McDonald's formed this idea years ago. This isn't anything new in the business world. If you want to own a McDonald's, you will work at one for a couple of years before you get even a chance to buy one. You might have a couple, $3 million it takes to build one, but you're not going to get that franchise unless you've worked in one. And why? It's because we have to, including me, learn what it takes to conduct business properly and to satisfy the needs of the customers. And that's not easy every day, especially when we have something like a pandemic running around, really messing with people. So in the marketing business management program, you'll have classes like sales. And if you've ever heard of someone that can sell ice to an Eskimo, we don't want them in our business. They can talk a lot. Now, if they're willing to come train and learn how to sell, we want them, because normally those folks are outgoing. But a lot of times people like that, when we describe them, they'll say anything to sell you. And you might buy one time, and then you might get home with your product and it's not what you wanted, and they're not around to help you. So there's no repeat business. We want repeat business. So in sales, we have to develop relationships. The best sales presentation is the one we never ask for the sale. It's the one where the customer says, I want this. How do I do it? How do I get it? That's the best sales presentation. Salespeople are counselors. Salespeople are consultants. Salespeople are problem solvers. Whose problems are they solving? The folks buying. When people have something to buy, there's a need they want filled, and we as salespeople must make sure that that need is filled, and that is sales. And there's a lot to sales and doing it properly. Now, can you make any money in sales? Well, I know a young lady in Evansville that works with corporate AT&T selling commercial accounts. She only makes about $50 an hour in sales with full benefits. I mean, she's got health insurance, she's got retirement, and they're only giving her about 6 weeks vacation per year. So that's not a bad job. Now, unfortunately, not everybody can get that job. She worked in the AT&T retail business, listening to customers gripe that they didn't want to wear a mask when it's policy and state law, and had to enforce that. So that took a lot out of her, but you have to be the best of the best to get in these positions, to get those jobs. So for those of you that are listening to me right now and are interested in this sort of money, continue to practice the little things that make people happy. Practice on your parents. Practice selling your parents on going that extra night out. Practice on your parents of taking you on that vacation or whatever. A sales presentation is very important that we establish trust up front, and we never can have that trust cut. So it is, we don't get it back. And all of you have experienced that at one time or another when you did something, probably not on purpose, but it might have been. We have to be accountable for what we do. And then we harm the trust that we get in someone else. Like we promise our school teacher, we're going to turn that assignment in tomorrow. And you get that, okay, tomorrow. And then you don't do it. As a teacher, that makes us feel terrible because we take that personally, like we were lied to. How many of you like someone to lie to you? So in sales, we can't lie to people. We tell them the way it is and help them solve the problems. We have a marketing class where we study customers, customer behavior, customer buying processes. What does it take to understand customers and what it is that they need? And that's what we learn in the marketing class. We have an economics class. You will find if you ever take any of my classes that I love capitalism, but too many people today do not know what capitalism is. And what capitalism is lots of people wanting to buy things they're able, and lots of people wanting to sell that same thing. So there's not just one filling station in town, there's 8. There's just not one grocery store in town, there's 4. That's competition, and that's best for everybody. So that's what we study in economics, and that supply and demand thing. It works. Now, can be manipulated. And the more we manipulate those markets, you will learn the less we have capitalism, the more we have other things. And it's not that S word you were thinking about. Accounting, we mentioned profit. Businesses must make profit. Little businesses, big businesses, huge businesses. Tesla must make a profit to continue on. Amazon must make a profit to continue on. And by the way, they did quite well in the pandemic because we couldn't get to our stores. If we go to our stores, people were cranky, so I didn't want to go back there. In Mount Carmel, we had one place, no one wanted to wear a mask. Well, I'm not going there. I don't want to get the virus. I don't want to give it to my grandchild. I don't want to give it to my daughter. I don't want to give it to my family, my mom. So we have to meet everyone's needs. Now, some of you out here don't think you should have to wear a mask. That's okay to think that we still have to keep everybody happy. So sometimes we have to do things that we don't agree with, but it's not harming anything. So we do it because we have to keep everyone safe in a business. And it's safety first. And once this pandemic's gone, and it will be, there's other things we worry about. I don't want someone tripping when they come into my business. So anyway, all these things are important. Now get back to accounting. We have to make a profit. And we'll make a profit as long as we have lots of people coming in, the ones that want to wear masks and the ones that don't. We need them all to come in, not just one, not just the other. It takes everybody. That way we have enough revenues to cover all of our sales. And with that being the case, we have to wait to keep and add all this up and keep track of our expenses to know we are making money. There are too many businesses right now, and part of it's due to this pandemic. They're out of business and they don't know it. Well, you'd think they'd know it, but they know there's problems, but they don't know they're out of business yet. And by the time they find out, they're going to owe lots and lots and lots of money and have no way to pay it back. And that's a tragedy. And we don't want that for anyone. We don't like that. It's not good. I know a gentleman that just 2 years ago, his restaurant went out of business about 25 years ago. 3 years ago, he finally got it paid off. Yeah, he was making payments on something for over 20 years and he didn't have it anymore. So we want to be cautious going into business because things can happen, and we're still responsible for those signatures on those loans we sign and the responsibilities that we created in doing that. So accounting helps us understand what's going on, helps us with budgeting, helps us know profits, and helps us know how much tax we want to pay, which, by the way, I don't know that I'm going to get there, but I'm still working on it. I want to pay $1 million in income taxes as my goal, my career goal. I'm not that. Why? Why would I want to pay $1 million in taxes? Let's think about that. I don't pay $1 million in taxes. And as a result, I have less money. The more money I make, the more taxes I pay. The more taxes I pay, the more money I'm making. The taxes are about 20% of the total. I want that 80% of a big number, not of a little number. I'll be glad to write that $1 million check, because what that's going to mean is I'm going to have about $8 million left. Wonder what I could do with $8 million. I'd come visit your school and take you all out to eat next year. That's what I could do with the $8 million. And the neat thing about that, I'd spend that money and I'd never miss it with all the money I've got. Right now, I'd miss that. So I'm not coming over. So you got to wish I pay $1 million in taxes. So that's what we do with accounting and management. There's good management. There's better management. There's great management. There's ho-hum management. We have a management class. We study management. We study how do we get people to do what needs done and to encourage them to keep doing it. And I guarantee you one thing, screaming and yelling at people, whether they're right or whether they're wrong, will not encourage them to get the job done. We have to learn then, well, if yelling doesn't get it, it can't be done. Oh, yes, it can. But it takes a while to learn, and I'm still learning that after all these years of business experience I've got. Yeah, I sell real estate. My wife's still in the antique business. So I'm still operating in business while I learn and teach business and love entrepreneurship and small business. I'm involved in the community and business development. So all these things are fun with me because it's problem solving, especially when you can solve a problem, help an entrepreneur or business person improve and do better and make profit. And that's what it's about. The more business people that we know that are improving and making profit, the better for our communities, the better for us, the better our job opportunities. As I bounce around, for every $1,000 spent, about $250 of that goes to paychecks. So if you want lots of jobs, you have to have lots of thousands of dollars spent in the community. So if you don't have lots of dollars spent in the community, there's not going to be jobs. So that's another reason that I study business. I just love it. And besides that, I've got, to give you an example of careers, I'm about to go there. What can I do in business? Sales? I don't want to do sales. Well, you'd love sales. Does anybody like to help out people? And a few of you do? Good. Right? Did I see you at McDonald's the other? Yeah. And you were so helpful to that little gal that was having the problems and had the two children, and one was wanting to run everywhere and she's trying to grab them, and you helped. She loves you. If she's got a business or a husband in a business or a dad in a business or a granddad in a business, she's going to point you out and say, hire him. He knows how to help people. Hey, that's how we make connections and how we do things, right? Right? Yeah. So doing the right thing. So anyway, there I got off track. What are some of the other things we can do? We can sell, we can provide customer service. We can be a detective and do loss prevention in a Walmart where we look like anyone else, watching for people that try to steal from us every day. And that's why you'll see loss prevention in the back of the store more than up front, because more goes out the back door and the front door. Bet you didn't know that. But we know that. And more cameras are going up on those back doors. And that's why we're catching more and more employees. And sorry, yeah, we have to file a police report, have a trial, have them plead guilty. And the good thing about that is maybe they won't ever do it again. And if you ever shoplift from my business, by the way, and I catch you, yeah, I'm calling the police. I know your dad's my good friend. I'm sorry. We're calling the police. We're going through the whole scenario. We don't do those things. Remember I said ethical profit. That goes for me and that goes for you. Taking something's not ethical profit. So what else can we do? We can sell insurance. You make good money in the insurance business. You can manage businesses. You can manage departments. I wonder what a Target store team lead makes. Team lead means store manager, by the way. That's who they are, the store manager. Wonder what they make. Does anybody know? It's somewhere around, I'll get my calculator out. It's somewhere around, does anybody have one of these things? Yeah, pay attention to your teachers, only use them when you're supposed to, but I tell you what, they're now a business tool. I have a daughter in sales and she has 3, 1 hers and 2 for the business. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, that's crazy. Target store manager will make around $75 per hour. Now, is that crazy or what? Huh? $75 per hour. Oh, medical. You've got a nice hospital here in Fairfield. They need business people. They need accountants. They need salespeople. They need customer service people. They need people to answer the phones. The careers are out here in business. Some of you love sports, right? Don't some of you love sports? Yeah. Have you ever thought about the business department? Once a year, St. Louis has a tour for people wanting to go into business. And it comes with a couple of game tickets. I've never gone on that. I want to. Maybe I'll go this year. And the reason it's so important is because the marketing and business departments of those organizations are huge. But we never think about that because we just watch the game and think that stuff just happens. Well, every little thing that happens, someone's responsible for it. So anyway, and I'm supposed to keep this to about 15 minutes. I'm now running about 20, I see. So I'm probably about to get fired. So let me move on. I hope you don't have to turn me off. There's small business management. Your families might be in business. Okay, I know they have the experience, but if you're going to go in the family business, at least get the 2-year education, 4 years better, get you schooling so you understand more than just, well, I was told it was that way, so that's the way it's got to be. Okay, so make sure you understand. And that's why we go to school. Now, the 4-year degree at Wabash, we give you the basics here. And then you transfer into your junior year at the university of your choice, and they begin to give you the business specifics. That's the difference between the marketing business management applied arts degree or 2-year transfer degree to get your bachelor's degree. And either way is a great place to go, but if you're only going to go to school about 2 years and that's it, get you a technical degree so you have the skills. And if you decide to go on, a lot of those classes will count. Marketing business management classes count with McKendree, online McKendree. We've got several ways to go. Oakland City University, there's several ways you can go to transfer this degree. But if you were going to transfer to business, you knew you were going to a 4-year school, I'm going to say make sure you get that 2-year transfer to go to that school that you want. Talk to the advisors about that. And choose what you think's going to happen today. We're always can change our minds. We can always change our minds. Choose the most likely case and go from there. And if you change your mind, you change your mind. It's best changed in the first 2 years. Did you know? And this is the wonderful thing about Wabash Valley College, and it continues on today. When you take a general education course like composition or economics, you're not in a lecture hall of 600 students. Nope. No, you're with an instructor with no more than 30 students at most. Professor at Wabash Valley College is going to know your name. They know you. You can talk to them. You can have a problem and talk with them if you want to take advantage of those situations. Yeah. Did you know in the 4-year schools in Illinois, students that start their 3rd year with the university outperform the students that have already been there 2 years. They outperform the juniors at the institution where the institution had them the first 2 years. Yeah, we get better grades. We're better prepared. Why? Because you can get individual attention. If you want to learn, and that's up to you. I can't make you learn. I can smack, but I can't make you learn. Not smack you, smack my hands. I can smack me. I won't make you learn. I want you to learn. If you want to learn, you can end up in your junior year at a university better prepared than the folks that started there. And you have to ask our counselors for those stats. It's been going on for the longest time. So, okay. Let me show you something here. There is my business card. And there's my email address and my office number that rings to my cell phone. If you have questions, please feel free to call me or email me, because the best part of these presentations is taking your questions. And we're not able to do that this year, but we'll get to next year. So thank you very much. Thanks to the faculty that allowed me in the classroom. And with that, good luck with the rest of your classes and with your career. This is Dave Wilderman, Wabash Valley College. Thanks for letting me in.